base of the chalkboard. And that's where it stopped. Okay? Interactive voting devices or interactive response systems. I made an observation in a classroom once, and how many of you are familiar with the little tablets that, you know, the remote with the pen where you could write and, you know, you can on board? So I had this teacher asking questions of her students, and as she asked the question, she would go to the student and give them the tablet so they could write on the tablet. Their answer would appear on the board. And then I looked at the wall, and she had 32 response devices on the wall. She missed both. Instead of having one kid engage, she could have had all 27 of her students type in the response. You know, and that's kind of the things that's happening in some of our classrooms. We're seeing how their technology might be in place, but teachers aren't getting where do we bring it in, how do we bring it in, and it all goes back to understanding your content, okay, and how to bring in certain technologies. I would love to see this in every classroom, at least 4 or 5 of them. And the reason why I put an iPod or a smartphone, they're great devices. You have video recorders on there. You have an audio recorder. You have a camera, a still camera. Imagine giving that to kids, and then you have the ability to post to YouTube. If you are in Lafourche, you need to know something. We have YouTube for educators. So if you wanted to do a project with your kids and have them do a YouTube video, you could upload it to YouTube, and then we can put it on our free education site. Okay? So that's stuff that you need to kind of keep in mind. You can get kids to make videos. Okay? But understanding the process of it. Netbooks. Netbooks have made their way into our schools. About 3 years ago, we had a 21st century program that went on in Lafourche. And we purchased something like about 500 of these. And in some cases, it's amazing to see what the kids are doing on these. Okay? And as long as you keep on expecting things from teachers and students, you're going to see that. But then it kind of falls by the wayside. People have a way of just falling back on the old way of doing things because it's comfortable and because it's just one of the things they know. Things are changing. We're going to have to increase rigor. Okay? These devices have wireless access points. Now this is something that's been has been an issue lately, and that's having enough internet connections on our campuses that would allow us to walk anywhere on campus and connect wirelessly. That's improving, and hopefully in the next 2 years, all of our campuses will have a great wireless infrastructure. Electrical capacity. Our schools are old. Bringing technology in is always a balance, because if we bring in too much technology too quick, our infrastructure cannot handle it. The only way we can handle it is that we'd have to spend a whole lot of money to upgrade it. Okay? Battery life, people don't think about it when they make a purchase. I'm going to buy a whole quart of laptops. Okay, that's great. What happens in 3 years when those batteries die, and the batteries are about $150 a piece? Where are you going to get the money for that? Okay, but that's all things that have to be taken into account. And the reason I'm telling you this is, as a classroom teacher, if you're making requests for this equipment, you have to understand where to get the most bang for your buck. Physical space. Again, we only have so much space in our schools. Where are you going to put all this technology? Okay, so we have the two families. We have the curriculum side, and we have the infrastructure, or the technology side. This is where we start bringing them together. I found this model from Dr. Ruben Tudera, and it's been around for about maybe 10 years now, but it's really starting to come to its own in the last 3 or 4 years, because schools have been complaining, yeah, we have all this great technology, but we don't understand use it? How do we integrate it effectively? Okay? This model kind of points out some key facts in integration in our classrooms. So let me go over some of them with you. Okay? We're going to start from the bottom. Substitution. What does substitution mean? It means when you take a technology and all you do is replace some old form with the technology with no functional change. Nothing really happened. All you did is you polished it up. Okay? In point case, let's say you have a typewriter. Okay? You've been typing all your papers on a typewriter. You younger people, that's one of these metal devices where you click and it makes a sound. Okay? And you have a word processor. And you type your paper on a word processor. And that's all you do. All you've done was substitute. Okay, so you substituted one for the other. Are you going to really see some great things coming out of that? Probably not. Okay, so that's substitution. Augmentation. This goes up. It goes up. Let's take that same typewriter. Now, I'm going to type my paragraph, and I'm going to use spell checker. I'm going to use the autocorrect. I'm going to use the bold. I'm going to insert a picture. Okay, so now I'm getting some functional value from using the technology. But it stops about there. Okay, so that's augmentation. Modification. Now we're going to start seeing some really, nice bells and whistles. Typewriter. I have a paragraph I have to type. Instead of the typewriter, I'm going to go to the computer, and I'm going to use the computer to have a technology that is significant task redesign. Now when I'm typing my paper, I'm going to email it to my teacher. Okay? I'm taking that to the next level. Okay? So that's modification. Redefinition, and this is the ultimate level that we're looking for. Technology allows for creation of new tasks previously inconceivable. When I type my letter now, I'm going to include it in a blog, and I'm going to post it on the internet, and the whole world can see it. With that single sheet of paper that I did on the typewriter in the very beginning, no way I could do that. It's inconceivable that the whole world would have the potential to see that one document on that paper. But now, and you got to look at the news recently, people are instantly contacted, okay, instantly posting. Governments are being overrun because of social networking, Facebook, okay? So now we're seeing significant redesign, okay, which was never possible before. All right, so keep that in mind. I want to show you an example of what that looks like with one program. How many of you are familiar with Google Earth? How many of you love Google Earth? I think it's probably one of the best things because I can spend hours on it looking at all these places, and now they have different layers you can put on Google Earth. So let's just listen to a couple of these.
In the Samore model refers to technology acting as a direct tool substitute with no functional change. An example of this is replacing the globe and the atlas in a classroom with Google Earth to locate places.
Anybody ever did that? Use Google Earth? Look, let's show where Louisiana is. Let's show where New Orleans is. You do that, okay? Nothing wrong with that. Okay, let's look at the next one.
Augmentation in the Samore model refers to technology acting as a direct tool substitute with some functional improvement. An example of this would be using Google Earth rulers to measure the distance from one place to another. In this example, we'll measure the distance from the East Coast to the West Coast of the United States.
Now, question, could you do this on the globe? You could. You have a scale, Okay, then you'd have to take a little measurement of the scale, and then you'd have to, you know, piece it together and get an estimation. Well, this is functional improvement. Okay, so this is the next level. Let's take another look.
Modification in the SAMR model refers to technology allowing for significant task redesign. An example is using the Google Earth layers such as Panoramio and 360 Cities that will allow students to do research on various locations. Let me show you how that would be done. Click on the menu. I'm going to scroll down first of all and make sure that in photos you have Panoramio on and 360 Cities. I think just to keep it a little cleaner, I'm going to take off the trees and gray, and probably I'll just remove Panoramio for now. 360 Cities is going to give us what we need. And we're going to go to New York City.
I apologize, my typing skills are not that great. I was never taught that in elementary school.
And once you have that in, you can hit enter. And if you notice, you'll get little red picture icons that will begin showing up on the map as you get closer to the surface. Zooming in, we're going to go to Battery Park and do a 360 viewing of the city. By clicking on the icon, it will launch the 360 Cities interface. Click view. And when it first comes up, you have some advertisement. It tells you where we are, Battery Park Park Memorial. You can close that out. We could also close the advertisement out at the bottom. And you're going to get a pop-up of pictures, and just kind of quickly to navigate. I'm just going to hide that for now. If you notice, now that you're in this window, by moving your mouse left, holding your mouse button down and moving to the left or to the right, you'll be able to take a 360 view look at Battery Park, kind of give you a feel of the area before you ever even get there. And if you look across the Hudson River, you're going to see a little dot out there. And let's see, I think maybe it was zoom in. And there's the Statue of Liberty. So by using the 360 city view, it'll give students a better feel of the location and the area when they're actually doing their research. Be more descriptive in their paragraph writing by allowing them to show exactly what the community would look like or the city would look like.
Okay, so significant over a goal, right? So as an educator and teacher in a classroom, you know, you can do this, but imagine getting your kids to do this. Okay, and if you notice, over the last 2 videos, I kind of said, you know, you can get your students to write about it. Get your students to do some of these. Okay, let's look at the last one.
Redefinition in the SAMR model is where technology allows for the creation of new tasks previously inconceivable. In this example, students are assigned the task of researching and creating a guided tour in Google Earth of Columbus's 4 voyages. Students can narrate and post their completed video to the class web page. Here's an example. Columbus departs August 3rd, 1492. Columbus stops to restock at the Canary Islands. On October 12, 1492, Columbus lands at San Salvador. On October 28, 1492, Columbus lands on Cuba. On December 5th, 1492, Columbus lands on Hispaniola, known as Haiti and Dominican